Ready to go?
Yeah.
So please be advised, this committee of council meeting is being recorded and live streamed. By speaking at the meeting, you agree to being recorded and live streamed. Please ensure that if and when you speak, you are respectful to others and use appropriate language at all times. One councillor accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of the meeting. Recording this meeting will be made publicly available on councillor's website.
That's one.
Oh, we haven't got that.
No, we haven't got
Sorry,
it.
Keith. I was just showing,
Welcome, Mr. General Manager.
I was showing the presenter, there's two options. We can all come fit in here these days, and if it's easier to come in the committee rather than the chamber, if you thought it was better to present.
So I actually application for leave of absence, and we do have one on councillor Paul. So we'd like to move, thank you, Councillor Rawson, second Councillor Nash. And that was the sent from the other two, wasn't it?
No.
Declare it carried. The declared declaration of interest, anybody ready to declare? No.
No.
Right, Neil? Yeah. Right, with Marlene, seconded, Amelia. Right, no dissent on that one either. Political donations? Any declaration of any political donations?
I wish.
None to declare. We might give this one to the mayor, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Mr. Beck, you move that?
Yeah.
Seconded by Marlene. Let's move on. Our first report is from the Department Leader Environmental Services. Payne, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, I think we'll just do the normal format with this. I'll just go through each point of my report, and if any of the councillors have any questions, I'm happy to take those as they come. So, domestic waste contract. So, we're currently out to tender for our next 10-year domestic waste collection. So I'll just sort of give it a little bit of an update on that. I can't give too much away, but just knowing that the tender will close on the 16th of June, and then the submissions will be getting reviewed on the 7th and 8th of July. So just a quick little update with that one. So I have been working very closely with the Net Waste organisation and the collective councils on getting all that data and whatnot to forward to them for tender. So yeah, well, it'll be an interesting time because it'll be my first time obviously doing this tender. Is there every 10 years? So any questions for that one?
Is there any in for it?
We don't know yet. So they haven't shared that with us as of yet. We've got a meeting actually later tomorrow about that. So we'll see how many tenders we do have that have put forward submissions.
So you report on bulky waste collection.
Yep.
I know the order, the mattresses that have been disposed of.
Yep.
What's the intention of those?
So we do have a mattress and tyre recycling contractor that we do use.
Great.
So yeah, now that bulky waste is over, we'll contact them and get them out to pick those all up so they can be recycled.
It's not the one by is it Blacktown?
Liverpool.
It's got sorry,
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Mm.
You've got a facility that recycles mattresses.
I don't think so. It's a local company that does ours. Yeah, it's JLW, which have recently been sold to another company, so they'll be going under a different trade name shortly. But yeah, we'll be getting them out to pick up the mattresses to be recycled. Because yeah, there was definitely a lot for bulky waste, which is always one of the biggest items that we do collect during that time.
It was always hard to dispose of them too, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're quite costly as well for the general public, so it definitely is easier to get rid of them through bulky waste, as that is a paid service, so we can get that for free. So,
Are they the winners, mattresses or barbecues?
oh, yeah, probably. It's probably a close second, barbecues. I'd say mattresses, sheer volume wise, but you know, it's yeah, you start getting a few double or queen mattresses, and yeah, they take up a lot of room. But yes, definitely do get a lot of barbecues.
What about washing machine?
Oh, you get a few of those, but there's not many.
Not many.
All right. Moving on, so as the chair was saying, so landfill and transfer station sites, so we've got bulky waste collection, which ran from May 11th to May 22nd. And then I just wanted to put in a little, I suppose, a little graphic to show how much waste we've actually had come in. So I know it's a little bit small there at the moment, but going off figures, we've been able to divert roughly 25% of our overall general waste income away as recycling. So I think that's a pretty good result. Obviously, the general public are the ones that make that able to happen, because I think a lot of people are getting a lot more savvy with their sorting, which is what we're seeing at the waste facilities. Everyone's getting really, really keen on separating their waste for recycling. So I think that is a good result.
Just through you, Mr. Chair. I noticed, going back just a couple of, the recycling collection household yield and also the waste collection household yield, the last few months have actually been dropping down. In fact, quite a few months have been more January in the first one.
Yep.
What do you think that is? I was just wondering whether or not it's related to, I mean, it seems as if in general, the amount of rubbish being put out is dropping there.
Yeah.
Is that just because of that bulky waste collection happened around about that time, or is it people are now taking stuff off to the landfills a bit more than before?
Yeah, I think people probably are using a multi-pronged approach to waste management these days. I think gone are the days where you just stuff everything in your red bin and then throw it out every week. I think we have seen quite a considerable pickup in the use of the landfills over even the last 12 months. So I'd like to say that that's probably contributed to it, because, like, as you can see from our waste collection yields, like, we've never got 100% of bins collected. So people are skipping weeks where they put out their red bins.
Yeah.
So, I'd say that's probably a contributing factor.
You're seeing therefore an increase of throughput through the landfill sites. Do you know? Do you use it?
I can't say I have as of yet. I do have the data in the back end for that, which I would be able to look at. So I could probably take that one on notice and give some data at the next meeting.
So they're picking the bins up more now than they were, because they were missing a few, weren't they?
Yeah, so I would like to say that J.R. Richards have got stable staff now. So, yeah, the collections have been a lot more consistent of late, which has been great for us, great for the general public.
It's good.
Have the PB board been in there yet? Checked them?
No, not yet. We haven't heard from them. We haven't had any correspondence from LLS yet about doing the tip inspections as of yet. I thought we would have by now, but no, nothing. It's been crickets. All right, so just moving on to our FOGO implementation. So I know there was comment at the council week about having the FOGO acronym. So we will be labelling it from here, Food Organics Garden Organics Service. So pretty much what was put in the council meeting. So just letting the councillors know that we have established a working party on a 24-month rollout of the service. And our first meeting was held on the 3rd of June, that's meant to be, not July, where we sat down with the comms team and we worked out a comms plan for the 24 months, which will be sent to EPA. And then we've also done an internal and community education plan as well. So, yeah, we're full swing for the old FOGO rollout. And one of the things, I have put a few graphics in there, and as you can see from our external audit that we got done through No Waste, that 45, nearly 46% of the red bin was garden organics or food organics, which will be, big change. You'll have 50% of your bin back when we implement the green service, so which will be good. And then we will be undertaking another audit, which will be commenced this month. through Envirocom. So it'll be good to compare both audits and see if we get roughly the same figures or if people are being a little bit more savvy with how they deal with their green waste. But yeah, happy to take any questions around that.
So looking at those figures, and we talked previously about the trial for textiles.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see if that 6% that you've got there is consistent as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just that once you get food organics and garden organics out.
Yep.
I mean, then textiles on top of that, that's pretty significant change, isn't it? So you expect a fair bit of less, like if your general rubbish stays at 33%, 1/3.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's
Yeah.
fairly significant change we'll be able to make.
Yeah, and it will be very interesting once the service is implemented to see whether people are using it proactively or not. Which will be something that we've already discussed through our waste education program with Envirocom about continually doing those audits every 6 months after implementation to make sure the service is getting utilised to its fullest.
And that mixed recycling thing is not bad, is it? I mean, you're always going to get laggards who just simply will not take their recycled materials out.
Yeah, I'd actually probably say
That's not bad.
I'd say 9.2% is probably one of the lowest that we've seen in the region, so it's pretty good.
So is the textile started?
No. So I didn't get that one into council last month, but it'll be in this month.
No, that's good.
But yes, we're very excited because it is a big rollout, but it's also going to be an interesting journey as well. So yeah, the team's keen for that one.
Interesting breakdown in terms of your general rubbish contribution to it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Non-recyclable glass.
What's that? Sorry.
Non-recyclable glass.
I'm not too sure on that one. I won't say that I'm 100% an expert on everything recycling, but I can definitely look that one up. Councillor Nash.
It's stuff where glass has already been made out of recycled materials. Like if you get a plate or something that's made out of a glass plate, it's already made out of recyclables. The windows, the classic example. Windows are not recyclable.
Oh, right.
Okay.
It's classic stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
All glass and big recyclable.
you would think so, wouldn't you? Anyway.
I would have thought the only thing that's non-recyclable is something that's where it's attached, the glass is attached to something else and they can't separate them.
Did you bring
That would be the main thing.
Yeah.
all glass bottles would be recyclable?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because you
Shouldn't get too many anymore, they should get.
no, they should all be going for return. And yeah,
Yeah.
And non-recyclable plastics, 14%, that's.
yeah, that is quite high. Yes, yeah, that'll be another challenge. That one.
Righto.
All right. Thank you for that. Moving on to cemeteries. So the environmental services team have been part of an internal audit being conducted on the cemeteries. So that includes our operations, our maintenance, our mapping, our processes, our procedures. So we've only had preliminary findings. We haven't had final findings for that one. So at the moment, they've indicated, obviously with everything, always can improve. So just improvements in process procedures, mapping, data management and fee costing. So pretty general stuff. We're looking at it as a nice little improvement gig. So yeah, the team's also looking into that one.
The one for the general manager. Okay, the Oval progress meeting on Tuesday night last week, the issue of the Oval secretary came up again. Are we on track to, when are we on track to be taking responsibility for North the Oval?
Well, North the Oval, it's in the hands of, I think it's the governor, but we've been assured it'll be happening within before the financial year's completed. But it is in that bureaucratic, but everything's done. So it's just a matter of when they sign it off on the Gazette, and that's it's with the state government now, so it's out of our hands. But I think Nicola got a message the other day that it was, fingers crossed, all the OLG's waiting on the reply.
Right. Yeah, that's good because it's pretty obvious that the people in the Oval they go to obviously funerals or whatever, or go and visit relatives' graves, they go to Cumlock. And they come to Mullum and they see the quality of the maintenance of what your court team's doing, and it's a credit to them, what they're doing. And then they compare the service that they're getting at North Yarmouth and they're just waiting.
I think there's going to have to be a bit of an understanding that bringing, if it is substandard to that degree, but up to standard with our other cemeteries will not necessarily be what I call an I dream of genuine which is blank. And all of a sudden, because it's under Cabana, it becomes, so there's probably a bit of work in that. And I think you've done a fair bit of work already with Dubbo Council, but you know, just the aesthetics and those things, it's just going to take time and love and care, not just, yeah, so.
Is it one that has one of those old areas of extension? Like a woody area attached to it?
No, so it's got no native veg land out there, so it literally is just a square. Yeah, it's just a bare square.
So, which is just mown and
Correct.
yeah, okay, the whole thing's mown.
Well, that's one of their issues, is that it's not mown. It's not kept in the same state in terms of mowing, as what Kane's team does in ours right now. And that was, even that will be one of the things that they'll actually appreciate. A bit more regular mowing, so if they're going out there in the summertime, then they're not, dodging snakes, for example.
Yeah, and we also have looked at, we've already looked at the site and we've determined a few spots where we can do some in-perimeter tree planting as well, because there is no shade out there at all. So, yeah, we're already looking at, and as Brad said, like it won't be a hydro Jamie moment where we blink our eyes and everything's done, but we do have a little bit of a plan of management for when we do take it over. So,
A little bit like Bivingstone, you go to those old, Nevada desert cemeteries.
We've got a few of those around.
It's really bad.
around the traps, like.
Well, it's just the harsh reality. They are, they used to always say these are not cemeteries, these are bush cemeteries, and sometimes the expectations can be out of kilter with the reality of what it is to have.
And the view really is that cemeteries and that should in fact ultimately just go back to nature. So yes, so sure, there's going to be some that want to keep headstones and so on to go and come back to, but ultimately the best option is for them all to go back to just to.
I used to live in Griffith, they don't believe in it down there. You go to the cemetery in Griffith and it's like going to I don't know what you'd call it, it's a beautiful structural bit of architecture. It's expensive, quite expensive.
You want to keep it cleaned up, that's for sure.
yeah,
I'm more in that mode.
yeah.
I mean, clearly some are important to maintain, but there are other, we've got, as you know, we've got plenty of cemeteries that are not maintained in our region. Yeah, I talked to Heather about it quite a bit, and because we were wondering what to do with the one out at Bedova, but also there's one at Lewis Ponds. And the view is that it should just be left, just go back to nature. Which is a good outcome, can be a good outcome. But yeah.
No, I won't lie. Like the acquisition of North Yeovil we'll have to work out how to fit it in the maintenance schedule, because it is a big open area. It probably won't be a day job. It'll probably be a day and a half job for my one bloke. So
It's that big, isn't it?
yeah, it is quite big. So it'll be our second biggest land mass. Pretty much Canowindra is always going to be the biggest. So yeah, just for open spaces, definitely it'll be number 2 on the list. So,
But places like Canowindra, you don't really actively manage the woodland area.
no, they're very alone.
Yeah, please leave them alone. Yeah, they're really, really important research sites.
Yeah,
Really important.
no, they've been left alone. So yeah, no, we'll work that one out when we get to it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's big, isn't it?
It is quite big, yes.
Wow.
Rightio.
All right. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Moving along, Ranger Services. So I know in the last few reports we've just been focusing on barking dogs, so I thought we'd change it up this month. So we have been doing quite a focus on our illegal dumping sites. So we had a very big one out Renshaw McGurk, and we did a little bit of a cross-department effort with the transport team, and we took away roughly 26 tonnes of rubbish, which was just unfathomable how much was actually out there.
Do you know who's doing it?
No, so we have set up monitoring points out there now. So we do have one of our surveillance cams out there just to see if we can catch anyone in the act, and then we'll go down the pin route from there. But yeah, no, I just wanted to give the ranger and the team a big shout out because it definitely was one that was sitting there, a bit of an eyesore, and yeah, the team have got in there and cleaned it all up. So it looks very good out there now.
We've got a camera there.
Yeah. So we'll see how we go with that. Because yeah, it would be good to see how many people are just driving in there and having a little drop off and then driving off. So and then I mean it's always a good news story for us. So we've rehomed another 3 dogs from our holding facility. So one internally to another lovely council employee that decided they needed another dog. And then, yeah, 2 dogs to the residents in the community. So another good effort by the ranger and the team getting them rehomed. All right, I'll move on to biosecurity. Yeah, so the team have actually exceeded their private property inspection target as of heading into the start of June it was. So our target was 300. We've hit 332, which will be good because that will just flow over into next year's targets as well because we are on a 4-year program. And the team have really been focused on property, like landholder engagement and education. When they go out, they are handing out various bits of collateral to help the landholder understand their obligations under the Biosecurity Act. Which is something that we have done previously, but there's been a lot more emphasis on really educating the landholder now about their obligations. Just because I know once we start heading east, we do have a lot of absentee landholders, so making sure they're all over their obligations is paramount for us and all the farmers out there. So yes,
You got a bit of positive feedback on that. Actually, people have appreciated the time that's been taken to actually do that for them to, travel properties and identify, where they might need to do some effort. Yeah, it's good.
Not only that, Peter, I think because the way the fellas did talk to it, like, it was really good. Really good, what I heard.
no, thank you. I'll pass that on to the team.
I've got my question for you, man.
Oh, I'm ready for it, Councillor. I'm glad it's on this subject.
Yeah, the legend, what are the colours indicate?
So there are 3 separate weeds officers.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you can actually
There I was thinking that these were
different
distributions of what certain weeds.
No, so
That's really close.
I was going to say, if you want, I can actually provide that graphic at the next committee meeting if you'd like.
If you could, that'd be brilliant.
So that go, like we do have a graphic where we do have about 26 weeds mapped over the whole Shire. So I can put that one in the report for, next one, if you'd like that.
I really appreciate
But that's our 3 different weeds officers, so in their respective areas. And obviously we are quite zoomed out. So they do look quite clumped because, the boys have been doing, the team have been doing a lot of work this season. So, no, credit to them. And we have been very heavily focusing on our chili needlegrass and sticky nightshade. Like we're finding more and more infestations of sticky nightshade. I won't say it's getting away from us at the moment, but it's becoming quite prolific around the LGA.
In the areas.
So we're finding a lot more in the west, so up around Yeovil, Oakley area. We did find one infestation up there where a property owner was storing hay from the hay drive back in the drought, and we had about 10 acres wall to wall up there of sticky nightshade. Yeah, so we've been working with that landholder to control that, but then going down Sandy Creek and that, we've got little plants popping up along the creek edge as well. So it's definitely going to be a big effort out there, but I'm sure the team have got a minute to get that under control.
And you just spraying them?
Correct. Yeah.
So just what's great.
So when we're down near the creek, we're using the frog-friendly Roundup, so Roundup Bioactive, and then when we're in the open areas, we are using Graze on Extra.
Okay.
Yeah, or a mixture of Graze on Extra and then also using Roundup plus metsulfuron.
Right. Yeah. And they know the difference between sticky and all the other nightshades.
Most definitely, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
other nightshades that are actually
yeah.
natives.
Luckily, your lookalikes, yeah.
Problems on them too.
Yeah,
So the left nitrogen, for example, the paint bump.
yeah, no, and luckily your lookalikes, say your black nightshade, your deadly nightshade, they do grow a lot shorter. So when you go out there and you've got a plant that's 5 foot tall, definitely sticky nightshade.
Oh,
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, and some of the ones we have seen are heading up around that 6.5 foot when we do get to them a little bit late. So yeah, they do grow quite big. And unfortunately, we've seen on that big, which you can't imagine how many years of seed they've had out there. So
Big tomatoes, like we throw tomato into your garden and see how many plants grow. Same family, so
yeah, and that's why
potatoes the same.
that's why they're very thick through the greater Sydney area, because you've got a lot of Asian grocers that have grown them down there for food stock. So yeah, that's why they've been so bad down there, and then they've luckily made their way out here for us to deal with it. All right, any questions around biosecurity?
I'll ask my question.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome.
Good one.
All right, last but not least.
Oh, no, I didn't have a question. Oh, sorry, about the infestation of blackberry just up along the creek here.
Yep.
Yeah, how's that going?
So the team have done prelim works along the creek edge, but we did have our biosecurity review not too long ago, and that did unearth some plant issues we're having at the moment with suspension. So currently we can only carry 100 litres of water. So trying to do any broad, and I'll call it broad acre spraying with how much is down there, it just isn't feasible at the moment, but it is on the control program for when we get our suspension upgrades completed.
Okay.
So it just won't be completed at the moment, but it is.
Now.
No, yeah, it's definitely on the plan to be done in the future.
Okay, brilliant, thanks.
No worries.
Crown Lands,
Yeah, so
it's a good news story.
yes, our environmental officer has been backwards and forwards with Crown Land for quite a while now to, I suppose, get a licence to occupy and undertake works in the Belubula. So when I say occupy and undertake works, so that's our snag rail line that works. So we have received that a couple of weeks ago now. So we have engaged our contractor to go out there and realign a few problematic rafts that we did have the adjoining landholders down the creek there to let us know about. So contractors out there this week realigning those. So yeah, when we do, because the water is low at the moment. So when we do get big rainfall, she should be flowing pretty well, because we have done quite a bit of work over the last 12 months in that John Grant bridge area back to the Cucumber Weir. So we have done, quite a few realignments in that area there.
Does that involve removal of the willows and just leaving the natives?
So we have done a little bit of spraying for a few willows around John Grant Bridge. We haven't removed them completely, because when you remove them completely, you have that worry of a washout where their root structure was. So we tend to, I suppose, destroy them and leave them there, so the bank stability is there. But because the water has been so low in the Belubula lately, we have found quite a few bigger rafts that we have been able to deal with. So that's where our contractor is working on this current week. So that's that is a good news story, that one.
Well, when do the kayaks make and then test to see whether you can off it or off?
There's some white water after that.
That's the next council outing.
Yeah, rafting down.
Rafting down the lobby.
Just have to check our insurance premiums and see. And max workers' comp.
That's good.
The second point there, so the EO has also been doing a lot of work with transport. So we've had two major culvert upgrades out Kangaroo Road, so Sugarloaf Creek and Mullian Creek. So we've been working very closely with them to just make sure that the obligations under the fisheries permit have been undertaken and have been managed correctly, which they definitely have been.
We get that in the correct order,
Correct order.
permissions first.
Of course, yes, that is how we do it these days, Brad. That's why things are working very smoothly here. No, the contractors have been very malleable to making sure the sites are very contained with any excess sediment that could run down into the creeks. So, yeah, I actually do give them props for that. And then, yeah, just working on general fence replacements across the Shire. So just going out with the landholder, marking up some trees, and yeah, we're pretty strict on what they can and can't remove. So yeah, we do still want trees along the roadsides, regardless of whether we've got fences. So any questions for that one?
Good.
Yeah, sorry, it was a bit of a long one. Let's do it. Huh?
Yeah,
Good, very good. Well done, Tony.
Thank you, councillors.
So we should just move that report be accepted in favour.
Yeah.
Marlene, seconded by Andrew. Again, no consent from the other tours. What you got? Okay, Mr. Innovation. Mr. Conley. He's fine.
Thank you. I suppose kick off with an update on the mid-scale. So on that further report, construction is finished with the construction plan itself and the upgrade back to the substation of Bates Bridge. All without any significant issue, which is good. I did put just a number of outages that took place in order to complete that upgrade back to Bates Bridge. So we had 6 outages with the 7th as a backup date in case weather or something like that caused a delay with one of the other ones. We didn't need it in the end, so that was cancelled on the 4th of June. As soon as that 3rd of June, the outage took place, we knew that we wouldn't need it. Yeah, a number of those outages were only half hour in the morning, half an hour in the afternoon as well. But only 2 of those were that. Otherwise, the rest were sort of 9 to 4 outages.
Through, I've received some information from a local out there who's a bit concerned about the outages. He's given me a spreadsheet with 15 outages on sticks. Some of which didn't happen, so they were planned and didn't happen. Yeah, but they occurred. The change only occurred like the day before, so the notification was very, very late. So obviously a bit concerned about any more outages, and also concerned about the fact that what's in here is not the true picture.
Well, it is the true picture as far as what we brought about.
Yeah, it's not what we've been
Not
told.
necessarily what the number of outages were from our works.
Yeah.
So there's outages that have taken place in Ugara from Essential Energy, but it's not from council instigated projects.
Yeah, these are the only outages related to our project.
Relative to us.
They have done a separate upgrade at Payton's Bridge substation. Essential Energy replaced the transformer out there, which then failed. But they would essentially had to do that twice. I guess.
Okay.
So I suppose there would have been an outage when it actually failed.
This is
Yeah.
not the first time we've been somewhat, I suppose, value adds been put on our projects and doing something, and then every time there's an outage, it's attributed to the same project.
Yeah.
Which, as you appreciate, it's not the end person in the outage doesn't know.
Yeah.
But I can see how they would turn their mind to saying, well, that's obviously more reversible stuff, but it's just stuff in and around that time that's going on for other essential activities. So we were six actual outages.
6 actual outages.
It was by our project.
Well, actually, the first one there, the 19th of April, that was already scheduled with Essential Energy, and our project was already commenced, so we piggybacked off the back of an existing outage to start our project.
You said 2 of them up for half an hour on those days, for that.
Half hour in the morning, half hour in the afternoon. Yeah.
How many more are going to happen during the commissioning period?
That's it.
No more outages.
No more outages planned
That's it.
for our project.
Or outages.
Okay, so if there are any more outages that occur over the next few months, it's not related to our projects at all.
Well, not, like,
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
Well, you-
not trickle.
they phase in the plant very gently, correct? And so, but can't guarantee that nothing could be due to the commissioning, but there's nothing foreshadowed to say there's going to be any further disruption. They do it it takes over a month to get the plant fully up. So I think the Manilda room, cancellation room, didn't they say something, like they turned it on and went bang. And
Yeah,
Like-
blew up some flows and things. Yeah.
you said that Gary, this is a lot slower process, but to say absolutely we can guarantee there's nothing, who knows, but there's nothing planned.
Yes,
Our plan is not to disrupt it. I just think, you know, Nathan did understand me, there was a couple of businesses that were potentially impacted. We may have, if they claimed from Essential Energy, we would assist with some costs, but to date, they haven't actually done that.
But yeah, actually, that was my next question was, what is the process if someone feels that they're out of pocket? Because you mentioned it here about additional isolation needs to be installed and none of those, and an offer to reimburse a reasonable amount of out-of-pocket expenses was made to those businesses as well. So it's not just for everybody, just was only for those specific businesses. So it's still up to like a landowner out there, for example, might want to get, some recompense for what? Well, I don't know. I'm asking the question asked of me.
But they go to Essential Energy.
They go, yeah, Central Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a case of, I think we struck this in Mulwell a while back when we were doing the lights. With enough notification, every business needs to have its own business continuity situation with power. So if you get 3 days or whatever the limit is, it's deemed, you've got to have a plan. And similar with domestic, I think it's with enough notice, we all have to be able to have the ability to map through it. It's just if there was insufficient notification under their rules, Essential Energy's rules, there may be able to be for a business some recompense, or I suppose if no one knew about a domestic thing and you had a full steer in the freezer that defrosted or something, I suppose that there's provisions for one-off payments, I imagine. But if it follows the process, there's not usually money coming forward.
Right. But it's to be done through Essential Energy, basically.
Yeah.
They've got a contact.
Well, when the mill, going back years ago when I had the business, when the mill was doing all their electrical work and things, they used to, between them and Essential Energy, they used to get a big generator in the street and it used to keep us all going. So you can always work things out if it's something like that. You have to work it out with Essential Energy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I suppose we're essentially the customer here as well.
Yeah.
Essential Energy have full visibility of all the outages, whether they're related to ours or not. We don't have visibility beyond the outage notifications that we get as a customer. As to whether our outage schedule was appropriate or not, we rely on them to approve it.
So the non-response from a number of the providers, that they just decided that 2 megs was too small to worry about. Is that the reason?
On the next point about the small market aggregator, yeah, basically, I think we're too small a fish for some of the companies we reached out to.
Fair enough. Okay.
Thanks.
Back to you.
Otherwise, yes, we're right into commissioning planning for the next commencing 2nd of July. So Essential Energy pushes back a single day. There's a bunch of documentation and testing plans that need to be undertaken over the next 2 to 3 months to get everything lined up and approved. But everything is tracking well there. At the moment, not that good. Where all systems go.
Fantastic. No, that's really good to see, actually. And no doubt, Blaney Council will be interested to see how the battery goes. Have been in contact?
I haven't.
No, I'm aware that there's
Some
interest in from Blaney about the spot price and how it's quite low at the moment.
Mm.
That'll vary. And this has always been about ideally, and that won't be in the first year, but if we can get to a position where we are able to work with a provider to be responsible for our own pricing, similar like we charge ourselves water charges. If we're able to then responsibly charge ourselves for our own power, it may not be this council, what with the next one. I'm not sure. We're not sure of the mechanisms for the retail arm of it, but at some point in the future, if council can control its own power prices, it's in a very good place financially.
That's great. No further questions on the questions, Council. Move on to the AI pilot project.
Just follow up to the previous report, where we received some money to develop and implement an AI pilot project. So we're proceeding with that. We've got a couple of meetings this week to start the detailed requirements phase. Which is good, really exciting. Be interesting to see how it goes. We've sort of chosen a project there which we think we can replicate across a couple of spots across council. So yeah, that's an exciting one.
It's the future, isn't
And Sarah becomes much more efficient in her role.
it? Got some help now, Sarah.
Good on.
The third item was around the different funding that's out there for EV charging infrastructure. I'll just put a summary of the two depending on the state, which is
Thank you. Yeah, that's
Very informative.
Yeah, no, that's really useful. Really useful. So if oh, sorry, through you.
Yeah.
If we want to get one in, say we want to put one into Canowdra, which I think is a good spot for one, which mechanism, which strategy would you suggest?
Sorry, councillor, you are suggesting council puts one in? No.
Oh, well, no, we just, well, we have but how do we lobby it? Which one of these processes would be the quickest way to
I
get
think the state, the fast charging grants for the state.
I think so.
Our region hasn't really been on the highlight map for the last couple of rounds, so maybe
Is
perhaps
Canowdra the next priority according to the list that we've prepared?
well, in terms of our list.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we submitted sites in just about every town, or in front every town under these programs to host a charger. Then it's up to the state to pick one. The state and the charge point operators to pick one. But yeah, it's just at the moment we're not being highlighted in any of their priority areas. So it's hard, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, JO, I'm putting it here because we're boss of JO. The strategy suggested by JO was that for every one charging point goes into the city, there's one that goes into a regional area at the same time. So 1 for 1. And even though the population is less out in the regions, the distances are greater.
That's right.
So, you know, it's crazy to have so many packed into a small area in the city. Okay, there's a lot more people there, but there's also a lot more distance. And we've also got to have a better understanding of what charging points are at different places. So, because there's a few different options. You've got your, you know, you plug into a PowerPoint one, which is really slow. You've got your type 2 cables, which are only up to about 11 kilowatts. And then you've got your fast chargers and they range as well. In Europe, they have them up to 400 kilowatt hours or something. They're really, really super fast. But then, of course, the limit becomes the car itself in its ability to draw charge. Yeah. You guys have both got, you've got EVs or you've got an EV one.
Yeah. But
How big is it? Go?
probably the biggest challenge is our friends Essential Energy. So where you've got to place the charges marries up with what the infrastructure capacity is, and the bigger the upgrade, the more problematic. So some things might geographically make sense in the travel sense, but if they don't make sense in the network, they may be looking at that. So there's more than one factor they're looking at of the desirability to where to put it, which is a bit tricky. So, and we don't know whether, it could be the spot in Canberra where we think is an optimum. They go, yeah, well, that'll cost 10 times to compare to putting one over here where there is already a sufficient power in the network so there's all that going on as well. So it's not, but and then you've got the changing in technology where I think in China they're down to a half an hour charge time already.
Yes.
So how far off is that technology? And that makes more sense in the city as well. So it's about I think the JO is definitely a good arm to lobby hard, because we did do that big study, didn't we, given with the energy stuff more broadly, not just on EVs. And again, essential energy was it's the critical piece of the puzzle. It doesn't sort of lend itself to thinking that way. It takes a long time to get a result and an outcome. So even when we look at us it's taken us 5 years with the mid-scale solar, but that we picked that site because it made the most sense for essential energy. There's still a lot to it and throw and test.
Actually, can we put a charging station out there?
Well, it probably would make a lot of sense travel wise. Maybe at the fat parcel around there, that area there could. But which way is the power going, Nathan? Because it goes away from there.
Goes away.
So
The RMA chargers down here, they're either of those fast chargers.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
So they meet this national EV.
it's the first one we got.
Yeah, that's under the state's fast charging.
Yeah.
So that meets their 150 k's without you worries at all going from here to Dubbo. So the chances of getting one to come off the ovals probably get close to zero.
Yeah.
But Canberra would be the next one.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, but does that cut out because it's only 100 hours from Orange to Carroll?
yeah, there's just one charger in Cowra, and it's only one NRMA. They'll probably upgrade that before. That's what they've just done at Parks. Parks had one charger, now they've got 4. So they probably bolster Cowra before.
There used to be one down on the floodplain, that's across the road from the McDonald's, but of course it got flooded out and destroyed effectively. It's now the replacement for that is up behind the library.
Yeah.
Right on the back corner, and really only one car can use it if you can find it. Most people didn't even know where it was.
If we go, Parks was get something and they put 4 in, so I'd say on this rules, rather than putting another one somewhere else, they just bolster up where they're already at.
Yeah, which would be what Canberra falls both eligible locations on this last round.
So, well, I mean, the reason I'm really harping on about it is that, we have an EV and you have an EV, so you're probably pretty well aware of we're starting to get EV rage occurring because the infrastructure is now the limiting factor. There's so many more EVs on the market, out on the streets now, particularly since what Mr. Trump has been doing overseas. There's been a massive increase in the number of the percentage of EVs.
30% in the last.
Yeah, and that's not going to stop. It's going to continue, and we'll get to the point where how many petrol stations are there in towns? Pretty well every town's got a petrol station. Even little villages sometimes have got a petrol station somewhere you can get fuel. So we need to get to that sort of level with EVs.
That's the challenge.
That's the challenge. Yeah, the challenge is the infrastructure now.
I can hope once they get their 100k target, they narrow it down to 75k's or 50k's.
The more we can get into our LGA, the better it is, frankly. We use whatever arguments we can, because it's one of those things that's going to limit people wanting to come here. But if they know that they've got a really good supply, they can just plug it in and it's easy, then they'll come.
No. Any more comments on this?
So this is a report, really good.
It's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, it's good.
So we move that be accepted and noted, and congratulations for that comprehensive nature of it. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Marlon?
Yes, yes, I'll be on.
Seconded by Andrew.
Yeah, the law.
Thank you. Right, questions for the next meeting? Meeting stage.
My questions?
Sometimes I like to say it's not a challenge.
Can I answer the question for this meeting? Before we get that question for the next meeting? We're putting for a grant for the rooftop solar on the community centre. What's the status?
That was declined.
Decline.
You missed out on that one, yeah.
Did they say why they declined it?
I
Running
think,
not on Labor Electric.
I think it was just very oversubscribed for the amount of funding they had available. It was, I can't guess as to what the actual numbers are because I can't think of them off the top of my head. You'd say less than 5% projects were funded, maybe.
There is a piece of work, Mr. Chair, that me and Nathan have been talking about, with me more than Nathan, but now we've got the plan up and running and hopefully we'll get a revolving fund. A lot of the business cases in the initial studies on either putting more rooftop solar, getting EV vehicles or those sorts of things stacked up on their own. So it will be a decision for council at some point potentially to say, well, if we're continuing not getting grants, do we bite the bullet and do some stuff ourselves? So that's going to be because there's always going to be some grants, and this is what we always go through with grants and doing something ourselves, and so that's the frustrating bit that we've done a lot. And obviously, we wouldn't have the solar plant unless we didn't get resource regions to help the battery. Some of these things that appear we're going to do a lot more due diligence because I think sometimes scopes get a little bit can be not quite complete, and you can get a rose-colored glass view on payback. But if there's lower risk, which we'll be talking about later today, in going it alone and just saying, well, still pay like we do domestically, we say let's pay back on solar with a battery in 5 or 6 years. Well, why wouldn't you just do that rather than wait for someone else to do it for us? So
we've got all that work that you had constructive energy do.
That's right.
And show that high
that was now, but 7 years ago. So
that's it. It was 2017. We kicked that.
So we've got to look at all that and contemporise it with the technology, where we are financially, what's the role in fund. Because some of it some of the changing to an EV fleet, well now has a whole different context, but the payback on that was quite quick. But you've got to get that infrastructure as again, there's no point having all these EVs and plugging them in so so we're getting to that, but Nathan's had a bit on getting this plan up and running, but that's where we're turning our next, I suppose, phase of focus to is, well, what can we do next? Because the grants don't seem to be.
Although I guess we'll discuss that stuff, and there might be grants and our reliance on them. Yeah.
We've got all that work we've done though, like for this community centre, for example. I mean, they'll be throwing some money around in the lead up to March when we're
there's a ring that's all enough to have a crack at. Yeah. Kevin spoke to the minister last week.
1 week before.
Yeah, so when we open up the mid-scale solar plant, hopefully the minister will come out and they might say, what else are you doing? So to speak. And we might have a glossy put in their hand.
Which minister? Minister of Environment. Penny Sharp.
I'd rather have the treasurer.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. And you have any clients that we
Thank you.
very much appreciated.
Thanks, guys.
Job well done, thank you.
Thank you.
So if you need any more information, I'll go back to your constituent, but